Hi to all my friends out there in cyber world, specifically the UK. I want to announce I'm going to be in the UK May 30th and 31st to do an A to Z course on everything I teach on minimalistic adhesive preparations, anterior and posterior. I like to call etched ceramic restorations. And hopefully we'll see you there. But what I thought I would do is a little simple introduction, show you a few slides on all the things we're going to go over, and I hopefully will teach you. So let me share the screen real quick here. I'm going to go through all of these topics. I'll show you how I do a smile analysis, how I use Photoshop, and I realize there's other programs, and obviously go into adhesive steps. And I'll show you simple techniques in Photoshop, how you can do something like this really in a matter of a few minutes. I'll actually go into Photoshop and do it, move some teeth around, change some position of edges so the patient can get an idea of what they might look like so that hopefully you can motivate them, I can motivate them to proceed with treatment. We ended up doing almost a full reconstruction on her, what she needed. Then I'll get into the detail of how I do stuff, how I've incorporated digital waxing, digital machining, digital printing, with a little bit of analog touch-up into the setup of the case. Then how we control from the pre-op to the aesthetic prototype or mock-up to the final case here. Just another case, and we'll get into preparations. When can we go from something like this to very minimalistic preparations? We'll talk about concepts about how much tooth structure to take off, and it's a very controlled process to be able to do something like this. 10 veneers I did on this beautiful young lady here. We'll go through all of the different aspects of preparations, when we can get away with some no prep or minimal prep, why we need to prep, and then preparations based on if we're going to do digital. We're doing more and more digital veneer milling of veneers, and there's going to be a difference from an analog type preparation where you do the conventional techniques, and we'll talk about the design and requirements for that. Then we'll get into the posterior, which I like to refer to as defect-driven preparations versus doing retention-driven preparations. When do we save a cusp? When don't we save a cusp? What are the parameters to how thick does the cusp need to be and why? And we'll go through some of the research that I've been involved in, have done to decide how and why to save a cusp. And then a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, should we do what we call classic buildups? I think that's really a poor term in today's thought process of adhesive dentistry, more in line with should we be doing a resin coating? Should we be doing something that I like to call a blockout? Should we be elevating margins in a couple of areas? And if we do, how much? What are the guidelines for that? Then we're into adhesions step by step, but talk about all of these topics from bond strength test to various aspects of generations of adhesions and bonding to zirconia, immediate dent and sealing. Should we do it? Shouldn't we do it? And then we'll go into all the particular types of products that I use. Do we use universals? Don't we use universals? Cases where we might use filled adhesives, different types of cements. Do we etch? Don't we etch? So that's a very full 2 days. I hopefully will see you there in London. See you at the end of May.